cutting. This is a beautiful flower meadow, which we allow the flowers to set seed before we cut it. Although this year there's been so much rain that the grass is really long everywhere. Before being cut, it looks like that, really. Okay, well, the idea is Steve cuts it with the flail mower, and then we allow the cut grass, which is cut in long lengths, we allow the cut grass to lie, and we turn it to let the sun and the wind dry it out, and then we gather it up and we stack it somewhere, and we use it for chicken bedding. It's not as good as straw, it's not as good as commercial hay, but it's perfectly okay for chickens. Nope. It's hot, sweaty work here in the flower meadow, but it's so peaceful with the birds, and there's a cool breeze. It's really nice. You might wonder why we go to so much effort by hand raking up all that grass when we could go and buy hay or straw. It's true, we can go buy hay or straw, and we have done the last couple of years, because it is a lot of work. But we don't do the whole 7 acres like that, only that one field. It's quite important that the hay doesn't stay wet underneath and rot. One, it would improve the pasture of the land, and wildflowers do better on poor land, so that one field is my wildflower meadow. We get wildflowers everywhere, but we definitely get more grass in the areas where we cut it and let the grass rot away in situ. Machines. It would be really good if there was a small baler that could go on the back of a small motor or something. But I don't think we've been able to find anything, certainly not anything at a reasonable price range. Anyway, that's that done. It didn't even take a morning. Lunch. Eggs from our chickens. Homemade haggis sausage, sliced sausage. Pak choy from the garden, radish from the garden, onions not from the garden, and potatoes not from the garden, and fermented carrot not from the garden. It takes time to grow enough food to make a whole dinner. We'll get there. It's been a perfect drying day. The sun was shining and there was a breeze, but now the sky's getting very dark and I have a feeling it's going to rain, so I better hurry. Speak soon. These are all work clothes. I don't iron work clothes. In fact, I hardly iron at all. Sometimes if we're going out somewhere and we want to look nice, we'll iron. But otherwise, nobody sees us here on the finca. And if it's just clothes for working, 10-15 minutes of wearing a t-shirt with creases and all the creases drop out. So just a waste of energy and electricity, and that's money. So we don't do it. I fold instead. If you fold really well, I'm not really good at folding, but if you fold really well, you may not be able to, you may not need to iron at all, not a bit. It's a skill worth having. When you find out how cheap your t-shirts are. A cheap t-shirt will twist after it's been washed and you will never be able to get it to lie straight again. Ironing is even difficult. The reason for that is because it has, when they cut the pattern, they didn't do it on the exact grain of the fabric. The more money you spend on a t-shirt, in theory, the better the cut. And one hopes that a really expensive t-shirt wouldn't twist. I wouldn't know. I don't buy expensive t-shirts, ever.